Hey, hey, hey. This is Sports Talk. I'm your host, Baruti Carl Alexander, and we are going to have a special Olympic show. All aspects of the Olympics we're going to talk about, and we're going to lead into track and field, but we're going to talk about a little basketball too. But track and field, this has been one of the most successful times for the United States in track and field. If you look at all of the goals and the records and everything, they have done a great job. But as we were talking about before we actually came on the air, today there was a bad exchange on the 4x1 relay, and seems like the last 20 years we have had all type of difficulty. When I say we, I'm talking about the United States of America. They showed the example of several of the incidents that have happened. They dropped the stick, they ran out of the lane, and that just says you are not prepared and you're not practicing, as opposed to some of the other teams. Canada ended up winning, and the United States 4x1 showed their shame again. I do want to give a shout out to the girls. Now, that team ran, the same team ran in the World Championships. So they have a little chemistry that they have built up together. But the United States, really, there was no excuse for that. And our Houstonian coach at University of Houston, he was very upset. And I want to give my special guest, Dennis Brantley, the first word on the 4x1 and what is the problem. What do you say?
Well, one thing, there's no consistency. Like I said, that you should pick 4 guys and stick with those 4 guys. That's the first point. And they should do that practically the whole year, work on handoffs. 4 guys that are at the very top. Of course, there are a few exceptions, but they need to be almost year-round, once a week or twice a month, handoff exchange. Don't have to always be fast, but as close you get to championships season, you get faster as far as your exchange, just to get your chemistry down. And the second thing is, from the prelims, you had the fastest time by far with those 4 groups. Why change it? You didn't have to change it.
You know, Noah Lyles got sick. And so, you know, that happened. What Carl Lewis suggested is that they keep the same guys, just change the ankle leg because he was sick. But you see, they took Fred Curley off a second leg and put him on anchor. Kenny Baderick they put him on, he was on third, they put him on second. That disrupted everything.
I agree. You messed up your chemistry. I agree. You should have just been the one change.
What I'm saying is, just like you said, I agree with both of you guys, but what I'm saying for the semis, because you got to remember, Kenny Baderick just ran the 200 a day prior. Keep the same 4 guys you have from the prelims and make one change, and that was an ankle leg. I agree with that. And that one change probably could have been Kenny Baderick, because, of course, Lyles can't run. But you mess up the chemistry on this level, you cannot mess up the chemistry, and that's what they did. It was too many changes. Why make the change when you got the fastest time by a whole 5 meters? Why make the change? So that was a bad tactical error by the coaches.
Very much so, very much so. And the women, even though it was raining and bad, they still, now they had some bad handoffs, but their chemistry, because they've been running together all the time. Now, the only thing about them running together all the time, in America, you have to qualify at the World Championship, or excuse me, at the National Championships. So you don't know what 4 are going to qualify, unless you want to put people on there that didn't necessarily qualify. So, but they still had enough time from the time of the National Championships to the Olympics to practice. They had enough time.
Right. Also, girls are always a little bit more disciplined than guys anyway. But also, there's a thing on the relay called the safe handoff. Why not have a safe hand? You have enough leg speed to get to the finals. Just get to the finals. and they didn't have a safe handoff. And that's why, and again, too many changes, not a safe handoff, and here we go again. This should be happening at this level over and over and over again for the Olympics. That shouldn't be happening like that, man. There's no excuse for it this time.
I agree. That safe handoff. Does everybody who kind of runs track and runs relays, they kind of know the safe handoff?
Well, the safe handoff is, instead of stretching it completely, the zone, get it where that you know that the guy's going to be able to catch you. You know, the word say if you taking 24 steps, which your stretch zone, where you really stretching them out. Take 20 steps. That way you know he's going to catch you. He might have to slow down at the end, but you get the handoff, and you got enough foot speed where you're going to get to the finals. Once you get to the finals, then you can make some changes if you need to, or stretch it out if you need to, the handoff if you need to. But again, on as many times we have done this, no excuse, man. No excuse on this one.
Hey, DB, real quick question. Now, applying that rule that you just mentioned, the safe handoff rule, do you think that they believe that they could have won applying that rule? Maybe they don't feel like that they could have won applying the rule. Maybe they didn't feel like that there was that much of a margin of difference where they can apply that rule. That's a safe rule. And, and sometimes you can end up 2 or 3 seconds slower. So do you think that they felt like that they could win applying that rule?
I believe so, because I don't think that there's 8 teams that could beat America, even if we use the same handoff. I mean, all we need to do is get to the finals. You know, you see what I'm saying? Just get to the finals. That means even you got the 6th fastest time going to finals. You in the finals. And once you get to finals, hey, you don't let anything, it's all out. You stretch the hand off, you put your fastest guys on there, and whatever happens, happens. But when you don't make the finals, you don't have a chance to do anything.
Right.
All you got to do is get to the finals. It's kind of like what we tell guys when you know that you're a little bit better than everybody else.
Right.
Just say for the it's for regionals. Don't go for a world record. Don't go for the state record. Just get first or second. You know, sometimes guys will go all out and then just say, let's use the 400, go all out, and they the number 1 qualifier for the event is in regional championship, and now they want to go out and break whatever records that's there and end up dying at the end and getting 3rd or 4th. What I always tell them is just get first or second, get to state, and then when you get to state, go all out for it. Don't leave nothing back.
They ran 37.4 in the prelims, in the semifinals. They ran 37.4. If they had ran 37.4 in the finals, they had a good chance to win.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, I can tell you this. I'm pretty sure they're going to make some changes in how that system works.
They need to.
Mighty upset, and this has happened too many years. And everybody knows the United States is usually the team to beat. If they come to the finish line, make it to the finish line, normally they are right there. Only one time I remember that they had decent handoffs and got beat. I think that was when Italy won. Maybe the last.
Hey, DB, real quick. Why do you think that the USA have so much trouble with the baton? Because the USA women at one point used to have problems and couldn't get to stick around the track, and they would always end up losing because they couldn't get the baton around the track. So why do you think that the USA teams struggle with the handoff?
Well, one, I don't think they practice it the year round. Like I said, when I say building chemistry the whole year, you might get 6 to 8 guys or girls to work on a relay that you think is going to make the championship in their individual event, and work on the whole year long, as well as pay them financially, pay for their travel, pay for their room and board. This might be once a month throughout the whole year. I'm talking about once a year. Your off season over with. It's a whole year. Like I said, when you do a relay, you don't necessarily have to go full speed, especially starting early. Just get the chemistry of how your hand placement, putting the baton in, get to know each other. Then the second thing is get one consistent relay coach. You have too many coaches over the years. Get one coach. For example, I don't think Carl Lewis is the lead 4x1 relay coach. I don't think he is. I don't know. But get one relay coach who's going to be there, who has proven himself, and is going to be the coach for that 4x1 relay for the next 4 years and lead up to the Olympics. You got too many different coaches, too many changes, too many personalities, and you got to have someone that's confident enough to handle these personalities and these top tier athletes. Let them know that, you know, I don't care who you are, we're gonna do it my way, and stick to those 4 guys, stick to that one coach, a whole year round relay exchange, relay practice.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna make some changes now. That was so super embarrassing.
It was.
Cut to something else real quick though. Noah Lyles, yes, he won the 100. He was talking a whole lot and doing a lot of loud and arrogant things, and he lost the 200. Still a good time though. Of course, he came out of sick. What do you feel about those type of antics that he did? I can't say that had an effect. I don't think that had an effect on us messing up if the coach had done it right, because something might always happen. But what do you feel about how he goes about his business? Is that just his personality and you got to go with it?
Well, you know, I'm all for it. Everybody got different personalities, and I give everybody just be who you are. However, I thought he crossed the line on too many occasions. You know, you want to be confident, you want to push the sport, which he's trying to do. But the things that you say, you know, doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you're hurt. If you put those things out there, then the world, they expect you to deliver. You know,
yeah.
So I thought, you know, if you think about the young lady that runs the 400 hurdles, you know, how much do you ever hear her put down her opponents? You do not. But she goes out there, meet after meet, and defend her title, break national records. I don't mind guys having personality. I don't mind it. I just feel like that he definitely crossed the line on the things that he said to his opponents and things that he's saying to the world, and you didn't deliver. Okay, if you, like I said, I want you to be who you are, but there's always that fine line, and I think he crossed that line.
And I think that's why he didn't get, you know, any sympathy or benefit of the doubt. And you know what he said about the basketball team and how he attacked them. Also, all of that's coming back to affect him. All that's coming back to, you know, go against his reputation. But you mentioned Cindy McLaughlin, and, you know, I've been following her, I know as long as you have, since she was in high school, and then she went to Kentucky. That is super class, a pretty girl too. And across the board, now, I don't know, did you see the 400 for the girls? That girl ran 48-1. Yeah. The only one we got that could probably beat that is Cindy McLaughlin. And her next thing is to run the open 400. So it's going to be pretty good in that mile relay, 4x400 relay. Is going to be a pretty good event, in my opinion. It's going to be, as well as the Netherlands. Now, what happened to Finke Bowl, Cindy McLaughlin ran her in the ground, and she gave it up. She was too tired. I mean, that's why that other girl from the U.S. came back on her. So it's been one of the most exciting Olympic events, track events that has been out there across the board and everything. The mile relay, I believe, is tomorrow also. But at this time, I want to briefly talk about the basketball, or not briefly, however it goes. The United States has been dominating in basketball. We're expected to dominate, but the argument I had with my brother is that everything has changed. And I believe across the board, that is what is being shown. And I believe France is in their home arena. They are the favorites over the United States, even though we have LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, who is not playing, and that's going to cause a controversy. Don't put me on the team if you're not going to play me. So, Jeff, what is your word on that?
Well, I say that you got to play the players that play the best together. It's all about a chemistry set. It's all about cohesiveness. It's all about chemistry. You got to be able to put the best players out there who play the best together. Sometimes you're going to have a bunch of guys out there and they just don't fit. And just because they have a lot of talent doesn't mean that they're going to play well together. You have to fit together. And some of these guys, they don't fit. You have to, they don't have that. So with that being said, I was impressed with Serbia, how well they played, but I was also completely distraught over the way the USA played in the first 3 quarters. They played with no sense of urgency. They played with absolutely no level of consistency. They just looked like that they was just going through the motions, like they didn't care. And then all of a sudden, in the 4th quarter, they just turned on the switch. And then all of a sudden, they just started playing better. So I don't know if they're playing down to the level of competition in those first 3 quarters, and then they turn on the switch. I don't know if that's what it was or not, but all of a sudden in the 4th quarter, they started playing and they outscored Serbia by 17 in the 4th quarter. But kudos to Steph Curry. They don't win this game without Steph Curry. They don't win this game if Steph Curry don't play great. If he just played well, they lose this game. No way. This guy was 36 points, 8 rebounds, 9 of 14 from the 3-point line. They would have lost this game big time if Steph didn't have a great game. So the next game, the goal, which is on tomorrow, they're going to put Kevin Durant into the starting lineup. So he didn't play well in the first 3 quarters, but in the 4th quarter, he started making his shots. So they're going to insert him into the starting lineup for the goal game. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. What do you think, Phil?
Oh, I'm on the panel? Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, since I didn't get the same thing concerning track, let me backtrack and then bring up today. My opinion of Noah Lyles, I've never been a big fan of his, but he does get my respect and admiration for running the kind of race he did. He lost, but he put forth the effort. Like I asked and said before, the only thing I expect from the Olympics is to enjoy the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, just like it used to be on the wide world of sports. The man displayed that. But yes, when he lost, the guy that beat him in that 200, they asked him, how do you think you would be if you were the face of track and field? I'm not sure what country he's from, but he said, yes, I can do it. I can do it because I'm not loud. I'm not arrogant like Noah. That was his exact words. And so there is other people that notice what he does, and I didn't care much for the things he does, but that race that he ran being sick took me a little bit more to the respect side for him as opposed to a strong dislike. Now, back to the basketball program. Let's just say this, Carl, you have always said that America is slipping in the Olympics. And I agree. I never had a problem understanding that. But the other countries that had a lot of time to practice to get to where they are, they come and play in our league, in our country. They play with the best. They go back to their country, which they already have a different set of rules. The international play is the only reason we did win. If we played NBA rules, we played 48, they played 40. We wouldn't have won that game. The physicality helped a lot. We were able to play like we do at the park. And that's what they did in the 4th quarter. They hiked up their shorts and got down. They didn't run no plays. They played off of what NBA players do. We're not supposed to lose to none of those teams. Now, I'm not saying we ain't and we can't and we won't. We're not supposed to. And they know it too. That's why they give us their best. They're going to plug at us every chance they get in this basketball thing. And sooner or later, we're going to lose. It just ain't going to be Saturday. But it's going to be closer than most people think, probably. You know, and they're getting good players. All these countries are getting good players. But guess where they got to come to get better?
They come to the NBA, exactly.
I mean, that was rhetorical. I didn't have to answer that.
I know, I'm just saying, it's like giving up. It's like being number one in your corporation, in your market segment. And now you give up all your trade secrets to the opposition. And now you wonder why the opposition is outperforming you. You've given up all your
another point. Look at this. 3-on-3 basketball. Nobody's talking about that, but we didn't win nothing. We got a bronze in the women, but I'm just saying, but you would think we could still do that too. But guess what? We send leftovers for that. We don't send good players for that. You can't tell me one player that play either way.
Exactly. Look who we're sending. You're right. I'm like, who are these guys? How did they put together that team?
Yeah, Jim. But you know what? But he was a journeyman in the NBA.
I don't even give him credit for being a journeyman. He didn't play that.
If you can get 6 years in you can get NBA pensions. So yeah, he adjourned.
He got 6 years. He got that many years in the NBA.
He passed around that long. You know, he didn't play much, but you got to have somebody that looked like him on the bench.
Exactly.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, he was serviceable. He wasn't anybody that you feared. I mean, he was a great college player, like a lot of guys are, but only marginal, if best, in the NBA. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different story in the Olympics. It's a different story in the NBA. So the adjustments you make are crucial to winning and losing. And like I said in the text call when we talked, bottom line is, did you win? All the other theatrics, all the other things that led up to that, did you win?
Well, you talking about Noah Lyles, or you talking about the basketball?
Well, I'm talking about both. That same philosophy applies to both. I gave him his props. I've never been a big fan of him, but I admire him for what he did, the dignity, the strength. He gave it all. You saw him laid out after that. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was talking about. I mean, you got COVID. People die from that.
You know, people on the internet, they're dogging him out. They're really talking about him. But I'm like, I don't understand. The man got sick. He got sick, and he still went out there and he performed to the best of his capability.
I respect that 100%. I'm not a big track guy, but that's not about track to me. That's human spirit.
Exactly. So my question is, what's the complaint? What are they complaining about?
The complaint is, just like Didi said, he crossed the line in some of his comments and the way he handled himself.
That's why I'm not
I agree with that.
The guy that beat him in the 200 said it plain as day. I can be the face, and I got no problem with it because I'm not going to be obnoxious. I'm not going to be outgoing and arrogant. And I never heard of that guy, but I like what he said.
Well, I want to talk two things about that and basketball. One thing, again, no one has a problem with guys being who they are, you know, because you want different personalities. Everybody can't be laid back. You want some guys who are boisterous. But I said you crossed the line. Okay, if Usain Bolt was just like him, exciting, but he never crossed the line. You know, it was never obnoxious. Was very confident, enjoyed what he was doing, but he crossed the line, and he didn't back it up. The last thing he said in his last media talk was they asked him a question. He said once I come out the curve, they all running for second. You know, and right in front of the guys that he's competing with, so the guys that he's motivating his competitors because they want to beat him. Again, be who you are, but don't cross the line.
Let me ask, when you say he said competing for second, are you talking about Usain Bolt or Noah Lyles said that?
Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
But DB, I know a lot of terrific athletes that,
It's DD.
DD. Okay, DD. I know a lot of terrific athletes that were brash like that. I mean, Larry Bird, he would do the same thing. Michael Jordan would do the same thing. Hey man, who gonna get second in the 3-point contest? Because y'all not winning. Who go?
It's not the same.
I remember Jordan telling Magic Johnson, he said, I'm gonna bust Clyde Drexler's behind. I'm gonna bust him down in the finals tomorrow. And he went out there and put up 47 points on him. So my point is, the really, really good guys, they brash. They're arrogant. They're arrogant because they're so good. I see what you're saying. I'm just saying, I know a lot of guys like that. Nobody gave Larry Bird a hard time for being that way. No one gave Michael Jordan a hard time for being that way.
They backed it up.
I still think there's an edge that is different with Noah Lyles, in my opinion. There's something different about the way, first of all, he didn't back it up for whatever reason.
Yes, he did.
I don't think
the man won a gold and a bronze medal, won a bronze medal with COVID. How is that not backing it up? I'll wait. How's that not backing it up? The man is sick with COVID and still won a bronze. And you say,
but see, even though you have COVID, people ain't gonna give you the benefit of that. And just the particular way that he talks seems like, and how does he do? He comes out there and does all these all these actions and overt actions every time. He just jumps around and everything, getting all that attention for himself. I don't remember LeBron don't do that. Larry Bird didn't do that. Carl Lewis didn't do that. All those particular ways that he acted in that particular way, it's like everything is about me and hey, I'm the best. And he's not as good as Carl Lewis was. I'm sorry. He's not as good as Carl Lewis. You know, that was a big question on the internet. He's not that good. He wants to talk his way into being that good. He's good, but he's not that good. That's my opinion on that.
Let me ask Jeff one thing, and then I want to get to some basketball soon on this. But Jeff, let me ask you this.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Like I said, I'm always for athletes when they do great things, including him. But again, he crossed the line as an athlete, as a competitor. He crossed the line. If all you got to do is look at all the things he have said. But I just want to ask you this right here, and yes, I do in here for running with COVID. But at the same time, let me ask you this: do you think that if he'd have won first place, that he would have been let out on a wheelchair? Yes or no? If he'd won that first place, if he'd won first place in the 200-meter dash, would he have been asked to be pulled out on a wheelchair at the end of the race?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that one.
I can promise you. I can promise you, as an athlete, that is, of course, he had COVID, and we know how serious COVID is. But I'm just telling you, if he got first place, he would not have went out on a wheelchair. Not have done it.
And that's the perception of him. He's all about, you know, showmanship and reputation. And when he doesn't do it, you know, something else was wrong. Something else happened, and that is what people feel about him. I know what Didi is saying. So, hey, I understand, but he has rubbed people the wrong way as opposed to some of these other great athletes.
Hey, Cole. Yeah. Can I give a special shout out? Can I get it before we move away from track and field? Then you can go to your point. I want to give a special shout out to Gabby Thomas, the first U.S. athlete to win the 200 meters since Allison Feaster, which was 12 years ago. I want to get a shout out to Anna Cockrell for winning the silver medal in the women's 400 meters. I want to give a shout out to Grant Holloway for winning the gold medal in the 110 medal hurdles, along with Daniel Roberts, who got silver. So USA went 1-2 in the 110 meter hurdles. I want to give a shout out to Jasmine Moore winning the bronze in the women's long jump. Shout out to the U.S. women for winning their first ever fencing team gold. I got to give a shout out to him. I got to give a shout out to Simone Biles dominating. Even though she was hurt, she was injured, she still dominated. She still dominated. So a special shout out to Simone Biles. I want to give a shout out to that lady from St. Lucia, Alfred. Outstanding race to win the gold in the 100. Outstanding. She beat Sha'Carri Richardson. Outstanding. That girl put on a show. That was a great race. Give a shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. She lost in the 100 meters, but she came back and anchored the 4x100 relay to the gold medal. So I want to give a shout out to them. So those are the people I wanted to give a shout out to. Those races, I actually saw those races and enjoyed them thoroughly. So I wanted to give a special shout out to
I want to add in the shout out a special gold medal to the brother who looked like he's straight from the hood from Kansas City. You might know who I'm finna talk about. In the 400 meters, that brother came from way back and down the stretch. He pulled it out with a 43.4. Quincy Hall. You look at it with his gold teeth and everything. You said that brother from the hood.
16 years old. Isn't he 16 years old?
That's Quincy Wilson. No, that's another guy. That's Quincy Wilson. This is Quincy Hall. He's probably about 26. But yeah.
I thought that's who I said, Quincy Hall.
You did.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I was thinking Quincy Wilson though.
Okay, it's Quincy Hall who I was talking about.
Okay.
Didi, you wanted to talk about the basketball.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I thought sure the U.S. won't lose that game. I mean, that shows how talented the America is in basketball, because for all practical purposes, they should have lost that game, man. You know, with the amount of time that you have from each quarter, that just wasn't enough time to cover those 11 or 12 of however many points they were down. At one time, they was down 17 points.
17.
So I love the fact that those guys were able to pull it out, but you got to understand that the United States of America, or the NBA, has made basketball a worldwide sport. We are training the best athletes in the world. And financially, you see the financial windfall for the NBA. It is a worldwide sport. So the people we're playing against other NBA players.
Right.
In every country. And the second point is, you got to understand, in those countries, their team play year round when they're not playing for their professional league. That's the same team that you probably seen 4 years ago, with a few exceptions when guys retire. So so I really was really happy the way the United States performed to win it out and show they had a lot of pride in who they are. I think we'll win by 10 or 12 points tomorrow night, because I think we're not going to let that happen again.
Well, here's
I bet all y'all. I disagree. I bet all y'all. I bet you. I bet you. I bet you. They are underdogs, and they playing in France in their court. They got Victor Wembanyama, but what I saw is they got to do the 6'9", about 270.
Yeah,
and he won't be moved. And I'm just saying, Evan Fournier throwing them 3-pointers. Hey,
if we play well and as a team, we win. But if we play the way we played in the first 3 quarters the other day, then we won't win. It's just simple as that.
I'm going to stick to my gun. We're going to beat them by 12 or more. I'm going to guarantee it. So I'm going to take that bet, Carl.
Okay. I'm going to text you, and we're going to talk about it.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal with that, too. One last thing. Let me at least say this.
Okay.
The reason we're able to win those kind of games is, if you look at the NBA season, those kind of games happen all the time. We understand the dynamics at the end of a game. All those guys on that team have been in that situation before. You can't say that about the foreign teams. Not like that level, and not that kind of pressure. Not that kind of coaching ability. Look at the coaches we have on that bench, too. All those guys have won a championship as coaches. So when you put that kind of mind power and ability together at the end of a game, you can play on instinct or you can play on strategy. The other day they played on instinct. They did what they normally would do. If you have that many good players together, you can definitely forego the shot you normally take. Because look at the guy I'm passing it to. I know he's going to make that shot. Look at the guy that I'm assisting. I know he's going to make that shot or make that defensive play or that defensive read. They do it all the time. So that doesn't guarantee anything, Paul. I with you 100%. They got a good chance to lose. I just don't see it from a standpoint of understanding basketball, talent, coaching, and situation. I don't think we're going to lose, but I just know they're going to put up a good fight, and anything is possible. They can go in there and lose, but if they play at their very best and France plays their very best, we'll win. Somebody has to have a letdown somewhere for them to win. That has to happen.
All I say is, I'm going to text all of y'all and say, I told you so.
I'm not going to even text you, because I know
I'm going to say, I told you so.
Okay.
I've been telling you
what
so.
You going to say
I've
when
been
they
saying
lose,
the same thing for a year.
Okay, but what are you going to do when they lose?
Thank you, Carl. It's got to be some downside.
Yeah. I mean,
what's your downside?
It can't be just that you can text us and say, I told you so. What are you going to text us if they win?
Exactly.
Say win.
I'm going to say,
win. How
I'm
about
glad
you
they
text us after
won.
dinner?
We still the number one.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
I win either way.
That's good enough for me. I figured that's the dice you're playing with. I figured that's the dice you're playing with. Is loaded.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, loaded dice.
Loaded dice.
I got a question for Didi. Is that brother Quincy Wilson, the young brother, is he getting ruined? He ran 47.5 in the prelims. Is he being ruined, or can he grow to his full potential?
No, I think that his body is tired right now, and he haven't ran in a while, But I think that at 16 years old, you think of the season he has had, the great things he has done, and I just think that he's still a kid, and this is a long season against the best of the best. And I think ran that is because his body is tired now.
Did you see how far he came back to win the 400? Did you see how far he came from back?
No, that's two
That
different
guy had to go
Jim.
all out. Huh?
That's two different people.
Now.
I said Quincy Wilson.
Oh,
the
Quincy
guy
Wilson.
who won the 400 is Quincy Hall.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My fault. My fault. I'm confused.
Now that's a grown man who's been out there for a while. He used to run the intermediate hurdles, 400 hurdles, but he transferred to the 400 meters, the flat 400 meters, and now he's showing his true potential. And he's from the hood in Kansas City, Vine Street in Kansas City. So he's a street brother who say, and just like, see, Noah Lyles started a beef with him, saying he shouldn't be on the four. See, he do things like that. Now, Larry Bird wouldn't come and attack another player who he made the team as the top runner in the 400 meters, and Noah Lyles going out attacking him and saying he shouldn't be on the team.
Hey, what are you talking about? Michael Jordan refused to play on the USA Dream Team if Isaiah Thomas was going to be on that team. I'm telling you, the Noah Lyles ain't the only one who've done that. Real good guys. Huh?
I don't know if you got that totally correct.
No, he would not play on the
Isaiah
USA.
Thomas had a personal beef with Michael Jordan had a personal beef with Isaiah Thomas. And he was petty like that. But Noah Lyles, to my knowledge, didn't even know this brother. As far as I know, he don't even know this brother. But he's going out and saying, by the way the man looked or what have you, and the man earned his position. He earned his number one status on the 400, and Noah Lyles going out and attacking this brother. He do things like that. You know, he goes out and say, hey, the United States basketball team, y'all, who are y'all? Y'all saying you're the world champions. World champions of what? Y'all don't beat the world. We running against the world. So he goes and attack other people being petty like that, where you got to respect your competitors. Because any day, on any given track meet, you might not be the best.
It just happened to him. He don't have to look far. It just happened to him.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, that the things he said, again, he crossed the line. Like I said, it's all right to be who you are, but it goes a lot deeper than Michael Jordan and some of the things he did. This goes a lot deeper in track and field. You know, like he said, Quincy Hall is the number one 400-meter guy in the world. And before they even got to the Olympic trials, he said that he should be on the 4x4. He should be on it. And he has never ran an open 400. You know, it's like, you know, things that you're doing that you're rubbing people the wrong way. Again, if you do it, that's okay. I'm all for it, but you better back it up. You know, you at the point now, it doesn't matter if you got COVID, it doesn't matter if you broke a leg, it doesn't matter if you pull your hamstring. Once you go that far, you have to back it up by any means necessary, and he didn't. So the thing that he's going to get on social media is going to be for a long time. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be for a long time. Like, again, that's a crutch. You lose, you're in a wheelchair. You win, you flip and doing 10 flips down the track. Come on, man, stop fronting.
Yeah, I agree with him. Had he won.
But that is a crutch, a loser's crutch.
Well, y'all really don't like Noah Lyles, do y'all? Y'all putting up a compelling argument.
If he had won, you'd have saw him kissing the flag and just jumping around and acting like, hey, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. But you know, he acted, I'm so sick and everything else when he don't win. And you know, people are not willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because of all the things he said. So I totally understand. That's why you gotta be careful.
Well, what about our swimming, men and women? They not doing too bad either. Y'all watching any of the swimming? I know that's not a sport we typically talk about. We typically do. But hey, it's been some good swimming going on. They got a 17-year-old girl from Canada that's ripping some new ones.
Yeah.
And beating some of our best. But at the same time, hey, that water been splashing pretty good. They got that camera right underwater. You can see, we got one person, lady, won a silver, got disqualified for making a turn that much too fast.
Yep.
Oh.
That much. They don't play around with these Olympics, man.
I think across the board that the United States, and this has been the most exciting Olympics that I've seen across the board. And I haven't watched everything, but
I tell you what, guys, that's something we should all say. I'll be honest. The most exciting Olympics I ever witnessed was the '76 Olympics. I'm still haven't seen one that got me more excited than that. '84 was good. '76 was good. And this is a good one. This is outstanding. But I mean, as a kid, seeing that Olympic boxing team that year that had all those good boxers who went on to be pros and won titles that you had never heard of, and their stories were so compelling from where they were from and what they had done. That's what I remember most from that Olympics. But there was a lot of other stuff too. But that was a good summer. I think I was going to 8th or 9th grade. Had been playing baseball, basketball, football, things was every popping. You know, you young, you see yourself doing it at that time, you know. But by '84, that was all settled. You know, the '84 Olympic team wasn't bad either, basketball. Jordan was on that team. And Bobby Knight was coaching, so you didn't want to play for him, but who else you going to play for? They made him the coach. That's what I remember about that Olympics.
'84 was in Los Angeles also.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why the
Olympics is in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Again.
That's what I said. '76 was in Montreal. '84 was in Los Angeles. But there's been some other ones since. '92, of course. But I was just saying, since you brought up the most exciting ones, those came to mind for me right away.
Your boy
I was barely understanding it in '72, and that's when they cheated USA out of the last time we didn't win the gold in basketball. That was an obvious cheat. The Russians fixed that one because it was in Russia. It was horrible.
Your boy Snoop Dogg
got their gold.
And they had Arvydas Sabonis then.
No, Bonus, he was not playing in that Olympics. He didn't even
he
come
wasn't?
into. No. He wasn't playing in that one. Arvydas Sabonis was a bad boy, but he did not play in the '72 Olympics. He didn't come around to like he played when they beat us with David Robinson now. He dominated them. He played with them like because he hadn't even come to the NBA yet. He played when they beat David Robinson them. It's Sabonis found them. 88. There you go. 88. That's when Sabonis played. Okay. His son is a good NBA player right now too.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Isn't he an all-star?
Sacramento.
Yeah, he was. He was an all-star. Yeah.
All-star. Yeah.
I still say he ain't better than his daddy though.
We got football about to start.
Speaking of football, Paul, Texas up 17-0 in the third quarter. Just want to give you that. I'm watching 17-0.
Who's up?
Texas up 17-0 on the Steelers in the third quarter.
So
Texas is going to be hard to beat.
How do you feel that the Texans are going to do this year, DD?
Oh man, I think that they're gonna go to the conference championship. I don't know if they're gonna get out, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But right now they got everything they need to win, to even go to Super Bowl and win. You know, and it's gonna be hard to beat Kansas City Chiefs because I believe they have to go through Kansas City Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Jeff?
It's going to depend on the rankings, where they ranking. Because if Kansas City loses in the first round or second round, we may not have to play Kansas City. So it depends on where the seedings, how we seeded. We were seeded 7, or seeded 3, or 2. If we seeded 2, we may not have to play Kansas City until the AFC Championship game. And if they lose in the first or second round, we don't have to play Kansas City at all.
We put a lot out there. Maybe the cart before the horse. They got good talent, but anything can happen. Even with Kansas City, what if Mahomes get hurt? What if C.J. Stroud get hurt? Now, in my opinion, if C.J. Stroud get hurt, we got Davis Mills.
You said that last year too, and I told you we got C.J. Stroud.
I got to give you the background.
That's your guy.
I said, why are we trying to draft a quarterback? Well, we got Davis Mills.
You did say that.
So
what did I tell you? He'll be holding the clipboard.
But I still think he's a pretty good backup quarterback.
You did say that. And don't forget, I did tell you he'll be holding the clipboard again.
Yeah, but just like I just said, the possibility you playing in the NFL, their job is to
you won't play away from your career being over, let alone a season.
He does have a chance to develop into a
reality is reality. You know, I mean, that goes for any team. Like I just said, for all those things Jeffrey said to happen, they have to win the division. And
Okay.
that's imperative.
They won the division last year.
I didn't say they couldn't. I say they have to.
Okay.
To do what you want them to do. You gave a chronology of what you thought would happen. Hypothetically, they got to win the division to do that. You can't do that from
Right.
a wide
Oh, I agree. I agree.
The way
I
you
got them winning the
described
division.
What
I got them
teams
winning
in
the
the
division.
AFC do you see improving and getting better? And then talk about we got 4 divisions in the AFC. I'm going to tell you, I think Pittsburgh is going to be pretty good this year with Russell Wilson. I don't know about Lamar Jackson. He's very talented, but he's just hasn't crossed over that bridge like we would have thought he would have.
But for 2 MVPs, Paul,
huh?
You get 2 MVPs by accident?
No. He has extreme talent. But there's other things besides talent.
And that's exactly what gets you 2 MVPs. You talking about Lamar Jackson, right?
And they got it this year,
Lamar Jackson, right?
They got Derrick Henry now. He got him.
I'm just pointing out a fact. I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying 2 MVPs in the NFL is hard to do.
Very much so. That doesn't guarantee automatically success, though. It doesn't guarantee.
I didn't say that.
Guarantee success as far as getting past Kansas City for Baltimore.
I just said getting 2 MVPs in the NFL is hard.
Yeah, the reason why they didn't get
go ahead, DD.
The reason why Baltimore didn't get to the Super Bowl is because of coaching. Why do you have Lamar Jackson and you throw the ball 60 times and you run the ball 10 times in a championship game? That's why they lost. They should have been in the Super Bowl. They had a better team. They had a better record. Lamar Jackson was playing great football, but all of a sudden you get to the AFC Championship and you throw the ball 60-something times and you ran the ball 10. Lamar Jackson had 1 design run. That is why they lost. If the coaches can get out of the way and stop trying to show everybody how smart they are, people like that, like Lamar Jackson, just, in other words, if you got the best player on the basketball team, give him the ball. That's what you do. Give him the ball.
I must say that DD was a running quarterback at Worthing.
We know that. We saw that.
Yeah. He was a running quarterback. Maybe 10 more passes. Might have had a few more touchdowns.
But high school is a whole different animal.
That's true.
Speed kills in high school. If you got 2 or 3 fast guys and you give them about 80% of the guys ain't gonna catch them. And that's this is what I know from Little League all the way up to high school. Now college, that animal changed because you get it's 10 guys can do what you do by that time if you go to the right school. But in high school, Little League, middle school, and high school, the best shine all the time. The best don't shine. Look, Michigan just won national championship last year. They get you think Jim Harbaugh would have left if he didn't have a show card that he found out today that if he was going, they want to win 2 or 3 of them things like Saban did. But he hurried up and got out of camp because he knew what was coming. They had been jacking with him for 2 years. The talent, he had tons of talent. The guy that's coaching, they're gonna win with him. So talent is important, but coaching is important too, especially. You agree with that, Dennis? On college level?
Yeah.
Okay.
College and professional level, and especially, like I said, again, college on the pro level, they can show they know just as much as a high school coach or less or more, because I said any high school coach in that AFC championship game who was coaching Lamar Jackson would have more design runs for that game. It is 40-something degrees, 30-something degrees, and you're throwing the ball 60 plus times. I'm still mad about that.
We can tell, D. We can tell.
Okay, in the AFC, in my opinion, Pittsburgh is going to win their division over Baltimore. Baltimore going to be second. I think Cincinnati, Jim Burrow, he seemed like he's kind of injury prone. So that's how I feel that one's gonna work out. In the Texas division, I still think even if CJ Stroud gets hurt, they still gonna come through because of Davis Mills as a backup. Miami, I
Depends on how
believe
many
is going to
games he
win their
missed.
division. I
Depends how many
believe
games he
Miami's
missed.
going to win their division. They got Tua Liga, whatever his name is, and he got the most proficient offense, and they got a lot of offense. And as long as they have a decent defense, they're going to win that division. And then Kansas City, until somebody beats them, they still the top of the line. They've won 2 in a row. They still the top of the line. Now in the NFC, Green Bay is going to win. Phil, aren't you a Cowboy fan?
I am.
What's going on with the Cowboys, man? I mean, every year.
Typical disarray when your owner thinks he's the coach, thinks he's the GM, and wished he could play. I mean, what do you think gonna happen?
Micromanager.
Well, he's past that too. I mean,
I heard a rumor that what's his name, the quarterback? He kind of wants out of there. Did you hear that?
Dak Prescott?
Possible. This could be his last year. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. So
that's why they went and got the other guy that they think is good from the 49ers. People don't just let you go to let you go. They hold on to you if they know you're good. Now sometimes
his name is Trey something, right?
Yeah, Trey Lance. Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All that being said, Dallas Cowboys will still win 10 games.
I don't know. They in there with Philadelphia, and then they got to play other teams also in the division and outside the division.
They go win 10 games.
They still got the biggest following probably in the NFL as far as fan base and support base. So, you know, I saw something that said they were still one of the most valuable franchises as far as their worth. And
it is. But
trust me, it's so much.
Green Bay fans
they have the opportunity.
Travel. Pittsburgh fans travel. If you ever go to a game anywhere that they playing, they buy out the stadium if you let them. Them 2 teams, I'm 100% sure that I've been around. Hey, they're obnoxious. And you talking about crazy fans.
New Orleans fans also, though.
Yeah, them too. But I mean,
Patriots too. The Patriots too.
Yeah, well, they just came new, but Green Bay and Pittsburgh been doing it for a long time. But Patriots relatively new compared to them. But yeah, they travel well too. I mean, if you have a major sports team in your city and they are worth anything, when other teams who travel well come, I've been to a lot of baseball games. The Giants baseball fans, so they bring half of San Francisco when they play the Astros. Win, lose, or draw. There are people who are retired, got money, and they come into the game, huh?
The Cubs also.
The Cubs, oh yeah, because they're blue bloods. They're teams from way back. They live for their team. They're gonna be there. They go to many games as they do on the road, probably at home. If I had the money and time, I ain't doing that. Yeah. Boston fans, we're not gonna talk about them. And they bring the clam chowder.
And we go ourselves and get our shirts together. We're gonna go out to some of these games, and we'll talk about that a little later. Didi, who do you see as the teams in football who are the top besides Kansas City and San Francisco? Give me 2 more teams.
Baltimore.
Okay.
And the Texans.
Okay. Jeff.
Okay, I got Houston, and I have KC in the AFC, and then in the NFC, I'm gonna go with Philly and the 49ers.
So you think Philly's gonna come back?
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, he lost a lot of his swag last year, but hopefully he adjusts.
That's a bad.
Philly has drafted well. Philly has drafted very well. They're gonna be good. Trust me, they're gonna be good.
How do we think Caleb Williams is gonna be?
Outstanding. That guy can play. Outstanding. If he can stay healthy.
Seven football games. I think they'll win at least 7 games.
You know, they haven't had a winning season since they got rid of Lovie Smith. They haven't had one, and that's just how it goes. Black coaches in the NFL still have not got their due. They get a chance, but they don't get, the benefit of the doubt. Now, maybe the guy in New England can start bringing them back, but across the board, Hugh Jackson, the coaches with the Texans, across the board, these black coaches have not got a full opportunity. I don't know. Why do you believe that is, DD, or do you believe that's true?
Well, it was true, but I think things are turning and changing right now. You look at the number of black coaches just this year that got the opportunity. I think last year they might have maybe 2 black coaches, 3 at the most. But I think that things are changing, just like the quarterback situation is changing. You're going to get to the point where they're not going to say black coaches or black quarterbacks because the way things are changing. You look at the guy at Houston. He's going to be there. He's going to be able to be there as long as he wants to be there. Of course, we know about Pittsburgh. Coach Tomlin been there for 15, 16, 17 years. And I think things are changing where guys who are African-American will get more of what I call a real opportunity. A real opportunity, not just 2 or 3 years or 2 years like they've been doing. They'll get that 5 years with a benefit of the doubt situation from this point on. That's what I believe.
See, a lot of that D was a situation where it was kind of a lame duck type of situation where you're putting them on a team that is not going to win, a team that's rebuilding, they have no chance of winning, and then after a couple of seasons, he has a poor record, then you fire him. What did you expect?
Sometimes you don't get a couple of seasons, sometimes you get one.
Exactly. And sometimes it's just one. So I'm just saying, a lot of times they might give those guys a job, but they set them up to fail. That's all I'm saying. Right. So every job is not a good job. Sometimes they set those guys up to fail.
I think DeMarco, first of all, the Texans, they were losing the black community in Houston when they fired Lovie Smith and that other guy. And, it was looked like they were just throwing them out there as a sacrificial lamb. But they went out and got DeMarco, who used to be, of course, a Texan draft pick and, all-star linebacker. And he is changing kind of the face as a young coach who is vibrant, who can, be down to earth with the players on their level. And I think he's going to set the example that a lot of these teams are going to look for a ex-player coach like that. And so I believe that's true what you're saying. It's starting to turn the corner, just like it turned the corner on black quarterbacks. Now it's kind of a common thing to have a black quarterback, but it's still not as many as it could be. Maybe 10 years from now, 75% of them will be black instead of 25%.
Well, for this year, the black quarterback to look for, in my opinion, is Anthony Richardson for the Colts.
He never got really a chance to show what he could do before he got
hurt. But I'm just saying, he's going to be the guy to look for this year. Now, in the NFC, a team, what'd you say, Jeff?
Yeah, I said he's a great talent.
He's going to show He's going to show it. Yeah. If he stays healthy. Got hurt. Yeah. Now, my other opinion is the Detroit Lions have been coming for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
This year, they're going to sit on the stage and roar. I don't like them. I'm not a fan, but I see what I see.
I like their skill positions.
And I like their coaching staff and their skill positions. If they're not going to roar now, then win. They haven't had this kind of situation in forever.
Mm-hmm. Not even with Barry Sanders. I look for Green Bay to beat them, though.
Maybe, but they're going to earn it. I bet you they're not going to walk in there and walk out with it.
Right.
I'm just saying, because I like Love. They drafted him and ran Big Boy out of there, and he went to New York. He was all complaining, and they should have checked with him and all that. Well, Love ain't checking with you right now. We're gonna see. But I do believe he gonna answer to Detroit. And if he beat Detroit, then he deserves it. Because Detroit is gonna be a team that's gonna be ready to play.
I want to give a shout out to my boy DeMeco Ryans. I'm just sitting here watching this game, and I'm just like, I'm really impressed what he's done. I remember, think about it. DeMeco showed up last summer. So this is just, he's only really been here 1 year.
Came from winning program, Jeff. He brought winning with him.
Exactly. But I'm just saying how quickly he was able to turn this around. This is amazing how quickly
he had a lot of help. He had a lot of help.
I agree. Outstanding. They've done an outstanding job.
He did build a culture, though. I mean, he built a quick culture because they had just won 4 games.
Without a doubt. But I'm just saying, but you can't build what you don't know. And he brought from him what he knew. When he left here, he went to Philly. And he's just a good guy, period, as well as a good coach and a former player. So he brings a lot of intangibles that makes this not surprising.
Yeah. Yeah.
The key for the Texans.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry. The key for the Texans, quick. The key for the Texans is going to be that offensive line. And I know I say that a lot, but we have 2 tackles that's in and out. Like Titus Howard, they just gave him a 3-year contract last year. And soon they give him the contract, he gets hurt. Then he's hurt again. This guy gets hurt in training camp like every season. He gets hurt in training camp, and then he misses several games. He just can't seem to stay healthy. Poor guy. And then they gave him all that money. So I'm just saying, man, that offensive line got to stay healthy. They got to at least stay relatively healthy for us to have an outstanding season. If they can't, it's going to be hard to keep C.J. Stroud upright, and then they won't win if he can't. So that offensive line is the key. That's all I got to say.
Always the thing in football. Can they stay healthy? And do you have backups?
Well, you got Tunsil, and he's an all-world talent. They don't have too many better than him in the whole league.
That's true. When he's healthy, he just
plays a lot. He doesn't miss a lot of games.
He and Titus Howard's just not a good match.
Titus Howard's not a good match. Larry Tunsil is a good match on anybody's team.
Oh, I agree. When he's hurt,
he's not out 10 games a year. He's maybe missed 1.
Oh, I agree. He's not out 10 games a year. He just seems like he's always out fighting with agony.
He plays hard. He gets a good grade almost every game.
Jeff, when is the first game of the regular season?
September 8th at the Colts.
Okay,
so they really want to get
right around the corner.
Out the gate fast because they got some tough games early on. You got to play at the Colts. Colts are a good team. A lot of people don't realize how good the Colts are going to be. Then they got to play the next game. They got to play Chicago Bears.
Just said the quarterback is the key there. Just said that he's going to be the key for the Colts.
So Houston need to get out. They need to get out of they can't start 0-2. You want to start at least 1-1. You don't want to start out the season 0-2. So they really want to win that first game in Indianapolis.
I think this year
we'll be checking it out pretty soon. We are at the end of our episode. This is our 24th episode of Sportstake, and we are moving right along. If it's sports out there happening, we're going to be talking about it. Last thing I want to ask Didi is the boxing match with the lady who they say looked like a man. Do you think they should have had more stipulations? I saw an interview where they said, hey, she was born a woman, raised a woman, but, and we talked about last time that there are people that have traits of both male and
hermaphrodites.
Okay. Yeah, you have more than males and females. You don't just have males and females anymore.
Okay, let me ask Didi.
Well, in this situation, I don't think the woman should be punished for the way she was born. You know, she was born a woman. She was raised a woman. She has a woman's private parts or physical parts, however you want to say it. So don't punish her because this is the way God made her. Don't punish her for that. You know, now if you got now I'm truly against this. If you're born a man, and I don't care what surgery you have, you should not be able to compete with women.
I agree.
That's a transgender issue. You know, that should not even be a conversation. You know, because that is truly unfair because of your physical makeup that you can't change. You might can change some physical exterior things, but you cannot change your physical makeup, what's inside of your hormones, your testosterone, no matter what. You know, so if a woman is born a woman, I don't care if she has more testosterone levels than a normal woman.
But that lady did say she hit her so hard she couldn't take it after 46 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. But I see it the same way as Shaq. I remember at one point Shaq was 7'1", 330 pounds, and he going to make this guy 6'9", 230, 235. And I remember thinking, that is so unfair. he is about 100, almost 100 pounds heavier than these other guys. And then when he gets the ball, he just slams his shoulder right into him and knocking him down. I'm like, that is an extreme advantage he has. I'm like, how unfair that is. Well, it's the same thing with this lady here. She's born with a lot of testosterone. So it's unfair, but that's life. Life, who said life is not fair? Life ain't fair.
Hey, don't punish someone. Lord bless you to have some extreme abilities, size. In this case, this situation, don't change it. That's just the way it is. Hey, if you want to compete, find a way to win. Don't make no excuses, or don't get in the ring at all.
Like the lady did. I don't blame her. If that's what she felt, she was a world-class athlete. She had to protect her health.
Yeah.
I would get out of there too.
She said, I ain't gonna take one no more of those punches.
No mas.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep checking out this ongoing story, but there's a segment of the community that's pushing for transgenders to be able to participate. I do not believe at the end of the day it's gonna become a norm. There's a backlash against that, and I think that backlash is going to get loud and it's going to stick. That's what I believe, but we'll see. We have a new election coming up, and there'll be different changes maybe. Yes,
two more real quick topics, and then we can cut it short. All right, WNBA. Who you guys got? Who y'all got? Who you got? Who you got? Who you think gonna win the WNBA?
New York.
I say the Liberty.
Okay.
And probably the Aces.
I got the Aces.
Okay.
I got the Aces.
I got New York.
I like the Aces. I like them. But I like the Liberty too. Ooh, Liberty.
That would be a three-peat. That's not going to be a repeat. That's going to be a three-peat if the Aces win, but I think New York going to win.
Yeah, I think New York going to win too. They got Breanna Stewart and Inesco, and they got a team.
Jonquel Jones.
Yeah.
But now when
becoming more exciting and more prominent in the community, and that's still because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But I still say some of those ladies should, have an OnlyFans page too.
Hey, who do you think will win the year? Who you guys Rookie of the Year, Carl?
In what?
WNBA.
Right now, Angel Reese is in the head of that, but you still got half the season still to go.
So you got Angel Reese ahead of Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark might get it.
I got Caitlin Clark by far.
Okay.
But if I had to start a team,
Caitlin, but not by
if
far.
I had to start a team and you gave me a choice between them two, you can get the first pick. I'm taking the one you don't want.
So both of them are good. Both of them
are very good.
Yeah, both of them are good. Well, we have really talked about what's going on in the sport. The last thing that I want to mention is we still got a few events. In your race, the 400-meter hurdles, were you surprised that Rob Benjamin was able to beat Carson Windham? You saw him hit his last hurdle, and that's the thing that disrupted him. Because he was right there at the head, but he ran a 45.9 last year, which was crazy. But 46.4 ain't bad either. So the only race left now, I believe, is the mile relay, and we'll see what's going to happen. I think on both levels, the United States has a good opportunity to win, but it's going to be competitive, and we'll see what's going to happen. Then the Olympics are going to come to Los Angeles, and it's going to continue. It may get better, and there we go with sports. Jeff, final word.
Hey, what do you guys think about Snoop Dogg? I mean, Snoop Dogg is huge. You see how he's promoting the Olympics? Do you know that they're paying him $500,000 per day? Plus
that's the rumor.
Yeah, I don't know if they gave him that much. That was on the internet, yes. I don't know if they gave him $500,000 a day.
That's the rumor, and he's making good money regardless of what they pay.
Yeah, I believe it, Carl.
I believe it.
You know, he just bought Death Row Records, and he now has a movie production studio called Death Row Pictures, and he got a new movie coming out called 1992. So he's super huge.
He's connected.
Super huge
that guy's
now.
connected now. Yeah. He's connected now.
Yeah, big time. And he's an icon for the United States. He's out on that level. And that's how things can change in the United States, because you know what? 30 years ago, he was up for murder.
Yeah. Still before that judge shaking in his pants.
Yeah. And now he's one of the biggest things out there. And, you know, in the United States,
he still can be implicated.
Big.
He can still get implicated because they going out to P. Diddy. P. Diddy say he telling on everybody. So if he got anything on Snoop, he said, I'm telling on everybody. So he throwing out names. All the people he gonna tell on. Will Smith, he said, I'm telling on all y'all. And so you got a lot of people that's nervous. They stuff go hit the fan. Oh, you did what? Back
and
in
he better be careful,
1989?
because they could Epstein him. They can Epstein him. Yeah. So he got to be careful.
Yeah.
Well, we got into other things besides sports a little bit. Last thing, what do y'all think about what's going to happen in the election, since we're going there? The election of the United States president. Any comment?
Wow.
I'm going to Kamala Harris, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If Kamala wins, I really think it's gonna be real bad for a little while. And it could snowball. If Trump does not win, he's already said it's gonna be a bloodbath. So I'm serious. It could get really bad, and things can snowball so quickly because the emotions get away from them. And I'm just saying, it could be ugly. If Trump don't win, it can get ugly. Because he is a poor loser. That guy is like a 5-year-old child who didn't get a bite.
If he do win, it ain't gonna get no better.
Oh yeah, I agree. Either way it goes, we lose. If he gets elected, we lose. If he's not elected, we lose. Because he gonna make some people pay.
All right. Well, we thank everybody out there in Facebook land. If you have a comment for any one of our guests or for me, let us know, chime in, and I'll get in touch with everybody on the panel if it's a comment for you. This has been our 24th episode of Sportstake. We'll see you next time on Sportstake. Thank you very much. All right,
D. Thanks, D.
Later.
Outstanding job, Dennis.
Take care, guys.
Outstanding. Man, you can come on anytime you want, Dennis.